Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day. Okay, so as in the previous class, if you still remember that we are at slide in not slide like actually at page 11. Okay, we still in topic 3, but we are already in page 11, which is goes to domino theory of accident. Yeah, so I will proceed on what we call today class, okay, with this thing, because I think that we last stop at uh, this one, okay, the factors, okay, of uh, yeah, here, okay, we have many actually if you still remember types and the cause of accidents. So we will moving on to the next one will be on the domino theory of accident. So again, Assalamualaikum and a very good day. So as you can see from the layout and in the video here, okay, who is actually developed this domino theory? As you can see, this is actually derived from one of the scholars that called as Heinrich, okay? Because in the Heinrich original domino theory, they have 5 factors in sequence that lead to an accident. So basically, the injury and accident are the results of these factors, which is number one, we can see in here is about injuries. Injuries ataupun dalam bahasa Melayunya adalah kecederaan lah ataupun cedera. Injuries are caused by the accidents such as fractures and lacerations, ill and health. Okay, dia boleh berpunca daripada mungkin akibat daripada kemalangan yang menyebabkan patah, fractures kan, keretakan, laceration ni macam melecet, uh, and to the extent dia boleh menyebabkan anggota-anggota organ badan kita cedera lah. And ill of course is like sickness and also ill health. Okay, kesihatan tu menjadi lebih teruk lah akibat daripada kecederaan. Okay, I just want to share there is I think that maybe you know what the story a long time ago, but I don't remember what is exact year. But this one I watched this girl who are sharing the story about a woman in around like in the United States who are buying McDonald coffees, okay? And what happened in that video, what she already to tell us is the reason why because she buying McDonald coffee yeah, just now. If you see all sudden I'm muting, actually that is the problem from these things, of course, from my earphone here in my okay. So where am I? Okay. The case of McDonald versus this lady, but I don't remember the name of this woman. It's actually all women who are buying coffee from McDonald, and bear in mind the car in a long time ago they don't have specific to put like our cup coffee, right, like the cup holder in the car. So what happened during that time, she's holding that coffee, the cup of coffee, and mostly probably like fast food restaurant, they will hold together like maybe there will be like a holder like or what we call box, okay, in order to make sure that we are not directly holding the cup in the hot temperature, okay. And all of a sudden this drink, yeah, when you listen to this story maybe you might say when once you buying that product means that that is your own risk, right? So, but after all, what happened? This drink is splashing is to this woman. I might say that around around her knee, ya, dekat bahagian kaki dia, okay. And if you see the video, is like burning, you know. So meaning to say the temperature for that coffee is actually over temperature. Supposedly might be 20 degrees is considered like it's a very hot actually, already hot. But this one may be more than that, okay. But of course, due to this incident, this already have to like traumatic, okay, for the whole life, because uh, she totally like burning, you know, like you are caught in fire, but actually because that is the splash of water, hot water. So that's why McDonald have to pay her for the compensation due to that incident. And it's been actually stated they have many complaints. I just make it short the story. Many actually customer complaints about this hot drink. So the moral of the story, um, as the customer, we should be careful. Of course, once you buy, meaning to say that is your risk. So listening to up to this case study, actually, people might be condemning this lady. Why you not careful? And bear in mind, in like I said before this, the car, okay, the automobile is not being provided like what our car today. They have a cup holder, okay, but actually they have a lots of innovation being done. But the problem is, it's all sudden. That is why we call injuries happen, accident happen, okay, and yeah, it's become like I believe it's lacerations on that. So she sued for that case and she got the compensations. And I believe that there is a long story on that because until until the end, okay, she keep on have like traumatic, and then she have to try to yeah, even though like holding a glass, it's traumatic, you know. So because of these hot drinks. Okay, so yeah, be careful. Alright, the second one we're talking about the accidents. Okay, so this is about kemalangan lah. The accident means kemalangan. Accidents are caused by the unsafe acts, meaning to say your actions might be considered as unsafe. Tindakan yang menyebabkan dalam keadaan tidak selamat. While you driving, you texting, that is unsafe acts, right? Or maybe you driving and you are drinking, meaning to say alcoholic drink, for example, you are not in the mind state. Okay, and then unsafe behavior. Okay, um, maybe some of you may be asking what's the difference between unsafe acts and unsafe behavior. Unsafe acts meaning to say, uh, you know that you are driving but you texting. Okay, that is action, tingkah laku ataupun perlakuan lah. I might say action lah, your tindakan. Unsafe behavior, your own behavior. Okay, how you react towards this. Okay, that accident, for example. Okay, maybe I give some unsafe behavior. Okay, you know you are driving, you texting, but you keep on push your pedal to go. And all of a sudden in front of the road, there will be like traffic jam. So what happened? It will be vehicle accidents. So that is unsafe behavior because you are not focusing, because you're texting. That is regularly what we practice, right? And then unsafe work conditions, meaning to say when you're handling the job, you are not actually very, you are not practically practice the safe condition. For example, like today, due to pandemic, right? When you want to handle the COVID-19 patients, so we have to use the whole PPE, protective personal equipment, but you take it like lightly and you just go with the flow and not using any PPE. So that one is unsafe work conditions. Okay, you have you are knowing that there is a high risk there, and you are not taking that one is seriously. Okay, the work condition, the place itself, the work environment actually is a very risky. So but this one in here they go give like example like fall from the heights. Okay, for example in the construction site you have to work with a very like high building. Okay, high building, high conditions, and then the falling objects. Okay, uh Korea, and then the falling objects, okay, mostly in the construction site because you do not know what is actually that you are working for. So above maybe you have to handle with some like bricks and some mortars, okay, and then you have to use like forklift. There is possibility to have these falling objects. Remember, Bangladeshi, some of them are goes to fatality due to yeah, all of a sudden the lorries is just like parking at the flying over, and what happened, um yeah, on the spot they would die. And then the impacts and collisions due to, I believe, because the building is collapsed, right? And then number three, unsafe acts, mechanical or physical hazard. Okay, unsafe acts and unsafe conditions are caused by the faults of the person, meaning to say the person is not ready to work in the safe condition, or they don't take the safety and health as number one as their focus, okay, when they are working. And of course, to the person itself, okay, they are not taking the precautions on that. And then mechanical or physical hazard are the direct causes of the accident. It can be some of the machinery itself, maybe mechanical, okay, due to technical problem, and also physical hazard, okay. It can be like due to right now, if you can see the COVID-19 is everywhere, so people have to use masks, okay. So this is can be like a potential, it's not accident actually, but they are more caused on the physical hazard. For example, physical hazard, I give a very simple, um, you know that there is a need to use safety belt, right, when you are driving. But mostly people, they are just driving without safety belt. So when you are get into accident, your risk is more than to those who are using the safety belt. Okay, so this is some of the I can say some example, but it's not so maybe accurate on that. But maybe another one, physical hazard due to maybe you can see that the real machinery is faulty, okay, leaking, for example, not functioning. So malfunction can be have some physical hazard on that, okay, particular for those who are using that machinery. Okey, the faulty of person, ini kesalahan yang terletak kepada orang tersebut, pada pengguna tersebut. Maksudnya pada insan-insan yang bekerja. Okay. So, the fault of the person caused by the personal and human flaws. Okay, human flaws ni ada kelemahan dia lah. If you, let's say, maybe you can see the incidents of some of certain of PPV, right? The vaccination center is due to the human error, okay, because they are injecting the empty vaccination to those who are need the vaccine, right? Because maybe because they are tired, exhausted, okay, overload of work, okay. There are many factors on that, but that is human flaws and negative character traits that either inherited or acquired, such as ignorance. Some people, they have like this mentality because they feel that I know everything. So when people advise them, they ignore it. Okay, they have the high ignorance. Okay, this is mostly goes to maybe some people, some person who are very caliber, or maybe they are senior enough. They feel that they never doing mistake. Okay. So most probably when you are the one who are maybe advise them, they feel like, who are you? You are maybe younger than me. You are newly in here. You do not know anything. So people have that this ignorance, okay, to care about whatever you advise. And then we also have the carelessness. Okay, this is what we call, I can't say that this is the human error, because carelessness, because you are not take a lesson learned. Okay, you simply take it lightly. You mengambil sesuatu isu tu sesuatu yang sangat ringan. Leaking, if the machine is leaking, up to them, why me? What should I reported about this machinery who are leaking? But some people maybe they saw it, okay, they see with their own eyes, and this machinery is leaking. So there must be something wrong. Okay, so we have to report to our supervisor regarding this thing. So it can be number one, ignorance, and also we can say like carelessness. Maybe this is a simple thing that the work you do every day, but you still doing the error, you still doing the mistake. So that is considered also as carelessness. Benda yang kita tidak hati-hati, kita cuai, kita anggap sesuatu yang ringan, remeh, jadi kita sentiasa tak berhati-hati. Okay, you pandang ringan. Okay, and then selfish, bukan jual ikan, tapi that is what we call as you only think about yourself. Okay, and they may lead the people to behave in an unsafe manner and hazardous condition. So whatever that you perform your job, you feel that it doesn't matter and do not affect to others, whereas when you negligence to do your work, it affect others too, especially in the factory line, assembly line, okay, or maybe just in time, okay, work method. Benda-benda yang melibatkan akan memberi kesan kepada orang lain. Jadi orang-orang ni dia tak anggap benda tu memberi kesan. Jadi dia sangat pentingkan diri sendiri. Okay, they are selfish towards their self. Okay, and then ancestry and social environment. Ancestry ni lebih kepada keturunan. Benda yang memang dari turun-temurun bapak dia, dia punya pakcik dia, keluarga dia, turun-temurun akan ada these things. Okay, ancestry. Okay, diwarisi lah. The workers' ancestry and social environment, these negative character traits may lead to behave in unsafe manner, because maybe before this the father is working there. Don't do that, I'm mostly practicing like this, so don't bother, it's nothing wrong. So you learn from the wrong people, so you take something that simply to make shortcut to your work. Okay, for example, simple thing, using PPE, guna personal protective equipment. Some say what? It's too schematic lah this guy. Why to use helmet? Why to use mask? Why to use this what we call glove? Why to use this safety shoes? No need. As long as we can finish the work on time, fine. Okay, so this is the thing, because you try to behave in the unsafe manner. For you, nothing wrong if not using PPE. Simply minded, okay? Fikiran yang sangat cetek lah, tak terbuka. Or acquire a result of the social environment. So certain might be affected from the social environment itself. So each factor is represented by a domino. Pernah dengar domino ni, dia macam memberi kesan kepada satu sama lain. And Heinrich believed that the majority of accidents were due to the unsafe acts and unsafe behavior. So scholars that developed this domino theory saying that this is due to two factors, main factor, which is unsafe acts and also unsafe behavior. Okay, in NIOSH 2005. Okay. Alright, and then the figure show the domino theory of accident with the sets of domino representing the 6 domino. Ada 6 factors. 6 factors in the set of dominoes. Okay, dia macam tangga lah. Tak, bukan tangga, dia macam kita main domino. Game domino tu. It keep actually related to each other. So Heinrich domino theory said that over into the years, Is one of them is the Frank Bird, 1970. Bird improved the theory and postulated the loss causation model based on the Domino theory. So after Enrich passed to the Frank Bird. So Frank Bird is actually translated into this model that calls as a loss causation model based on the Domino theory, which emphasizes on the causes of accident. Okay. And you can see in here, there is start with the lack of management system control. We need to say the management do not take care or they lose the focus on that. Okay, they don't even bother whatever happened. I want the productivity meet on time. Ni ada jenis lah kita kata pengawalan ataupun daripada pengurusan yang tidak ambil tahu. Yang dia tahu meet the requirement. Okay, and then the second one might be on the job factor itself. Okay, sebab faktor pekerjaan tersebut memang dah berisiko tinggi. Kerja dekat construction site, kerja di hospital, apa lagi, pekerjaan-pekerjaan yang memang kita boleh nampak akan berlakunya kemalangan tersebut. Alright, and then personal factors due to the human flaws, or maybe in terms of the loss of focus, exhausted, or maybe burden. So they feel something like this is not the right job for me, for example. They not love the job, how they want to perform well. Okay, and then substandard work condition, certain work condition is actually forcing them to do that. Maybe something like they have to only 8 hours, after that they have to do overtime job, for example. But body and mind is already exhausted. After the end of the 8 normal hours, right? So most probably they already have a very exhausted level, and the focus is already not in the right track. Hilang fokus lah. So there will be potentially to become to have create accidents and so forth. Okay, and then we have substandard behavior. This is the mostly prominent factors lah. Okay, why I say so? Because this is done research by Enrich. Okay, because Enrich says there is two main factors that the most prevailing factors that actually consuming and contributed to the accidents. Maksudnya dua faktor terbesar ni adalah substandard behavior, unsafe behavior and also unsafe acts. And the last one, there will be substandard acts, which is their action is not according to the standard. So then it will become like you can see like a thunder here, okay, storm here is all sudden become accident and it become injuries. For us looking something like injury happen, it can be anytime, anywhere. We can't predict, and even the injuries can be smelled. Even our death also can be smelled, right? Kita tak boleh hidup pun bau kemalangan, kecelakaan yang berlaku kepada kita. Betul, kita bukan Tuhan. Kita bukan malaikat, tetapi kita ada hak untuk menjaga keselamatan diri kita. Okay, so what's next? Okay, so injury. This is about the explanation. Okay, of course, the above one, they are only focusing on what is the definition, but in here they go with the what we call like sorry, yeah. Okay, it's not so what we call in the previous one that I mentioned to you is just we state it. Okay, kita menamakan apa tu injury, but this one they more detail and more specific to what so called is about injuries and other domino theory factors, okay, and causes. Okay, injury is described as inflictions on the human body as the result of an accident. Kesan-kesan yang terjadi kepada tubuh badan manusia yang berpunca ataupun yang berkesan ataupun result ni yang menyebabkan yang berlakunya hasil daripada kemalangan tersebut. Human injuries can be categorized as the fatal deaths, okay, and major serious injuries. When they have the bolded word in here, there are major serious, meaning is seriously, okay. Injuries such as the loss of body limbs, loss of the body function such as handicap, and then we do have the paralyzed, we have loss of the body, a loss of the eyesight, okay, hearing, and we do have hearing loss, boleh menyebabkan kehilangan pendengaran, penglihatan, permanent disability. Okay, for example, you cannot actually move your hands and leg. For example, you total injuries, okay, like vegetate they call, means paralyzed, okay, and loss of the mental soundness, meaning to say you trying to make it like how to say in a different way, it will be goes to mental soundness. You are not really what we call can think in the right manner because of this mental soundness, okay, due to traumatic from the workplace. It can be, it's not just only because we can say that injuries is physical things that we can see, but somehow when we're talking about the mental soundness, nowadays mostly probably people are working in work from home, right, WFH ataupun BDR, bekerja dari rumah. So the work is like double, okay, double, triple somehow. And this is actually one of the factor that can goes to this mental soundness. But I cannot say precisely say, oh, everybody working from home is like mental depression. No, because it needs someone to actually say it, not say, but prescribe it. Of course, the right person, the doctor, psychiatrist that have that the background who know how to prescribe these things, right? Okay, and of course they have to do some like checking on you on this. And minor injuries such as cuts, bila kena terpotong tangan ke, bruise, okay, bruise ni mean to say like lebam-lebam, wounds, luka, okay, laceration are most common, cala ke, lecet ke. Apart from the injuries, accident result in loss such as property damages, machines, equipment, tools are damaged, malfunction and need to be repaired, and this affect to production. So when we got this injury, it's not just totally say that to the human affect body itself, but it can be due to the machinery and anything equipment tools that you use, somehow that is actually the cause, the main cause. But because you as the staff and the employees who are handling that tools, it can indirectly affect to the production, okay, and of course deliveries to the customers, okay, because the customer expecting that they receive, maybe like example today when I'm doing this video is on what we call 9 September 99 in Shopee. So probably they might say that okay, 9 September should be delivered to the customer, but somehow due to these accidents, injuries, it cannot be delivered as being scheduled, okay. And then lost customer order, because the customer nowadays, they are very what we call very smart, you know, okay, they are very smart, and then they are looking into for those who suppliers who are giving the best services. So if your service is not accessible, your service is low, so meaning to say why should we wait, right? Okay, and then they just shift to the another suppliers, okay, and the process of productivity losses such as downtime, okay, of course the time schedule is already out of track, okay, and then there will be idles, ada tangguhan lah, pending happen, delays, schedule upset, and the maintenance and repair cost. Somehow a certain machinery cannot just repair within 24 hours. It takes a week, it takes a month. Let's say most probably the machinery and the tools, equipment come from overseas. So it takes times in order to deliver the new one or the another one. Okay. And the second one, we go with the accidents. Okay. Typically, accident that occur may result in some of the injuries and the property damage. Example of accidents are fall, jatuh, impacts from the moving object, trapped in the moving system of machinery. Let's say the engine for the forklift all sudden is no malfunction, and then this forklift is taking you to the some place that you are not actually realized, and it got you with the accident. Okay, and burns, this is about your assignment. Okay, kebakaran, and then the fires, explosion, and then electrocution. We mostly we say electric shock, right? And then we have the electrocution. Okay, berlakunya macam pendawaian elektrik lah. Struck by a flying chips or object. So meaning to say maybe some machinery is moving, and then this thing all sudden malfunction. So what happened is maybe affect you, like cuts your hand, your finger, Masya Allah, na'udzubillah min zalik. Okay, so unsafe acts or substandard practices. I remember this one that multiple times my lecture keep on remind us. What's the difference between this unsafe act and also unsafe behavior, right? Okay, unsafe acts committed by people with the presence of the mechanical or physical hazard are the direct cause of the accident. Actually, they have the word here, right? Due to the accumulated personal and job factors coupled with the hazarded work, okay, workers have the natural tendency to develop with bad work habit collectively. So this is aggravated when there are no management control and leadership toward the workers' safety at workplace. So the workers are taking shortcuts, they said here, doing tasks dangerously. As I told you before, they feel that they are very in the comfort zone, safety zone. So meaning to say they are in too much comfort zone, so they don't use any PPE, personal protective equipment. Okay, for example, uniform that have like protective, okay, protection for the workers itself. Okay, so they're doing tasks dangerously, not using glove, mask, ignoring their own safety and their colleagues. Whereas somehow they are influenced the colleagues to not use it. So if you don't want to use PPE, don't insult others. Don't influence others. You tak nak guna tapi you pengaruh orang lain untuk tak guna. Tak payah gunalah skema. So that is not the right things to say. And what else? Okay. Disregard or fail to observe established procedure or work instruction, and then insubordination and claiming their method are more productive. They say even though we are not using PPE, they are more faster, they say. And we are not actually also pending the task. We are still safe. Because why? The accident still not happen and occurred to you. Okay. Alright, the next one is goes to the bad habits or practices are easily ingrained to workers as they are unaware of what? Of the potential health and accidents effect they may befall on them. So you can see in here, task, okay, the supervisor must help their workers to change their bad safety habits, attitudes, or behavior. So therefore, supervisor needs to involve their workers in identifying and correcting problems and to share the responsibility for safety among them. So supervisor must constantly bring up the safety issue and constant through informal discussion. This is a must. Like when we are doing the performance appraisal, right? We are discussing about how your performance, okay? But that is not the right time to accuse you are stupid, you are not following instruction. It's not good. Okay, as a good leader, supervisor, superior, we have to guide them. Maybe they are new to the work, okay? Maybe 6 month probation period. But don't just condemning them, but ask them do you have any problem while performing the job? Ask them on that. So we have to know, okay, what things that may be dangerous. Maybe these workers maybe have some traumatic due to the height, certain of condition. Maybe they cannot work in a very compact place. For example, like in the store, they have the certain of the what we call traumatic. It's something like traumatic. I don't remember the name, but cabus, something like that. You cannot work in the place that dark, in the dark place, and then it feel like you how to say that, you feel that you want to droning, you feel something like I cannot stand with this, because all the place is being closed up. And for example, you have to work maybe in the very silent places, okay, because you need to maybe do some inspection on the machinery, for example, right? Then make some scared moment on that, okay. And then what else? And develop a system where the workers can report dangerous conditions as they notice them. If you feel that something wrong with the machinery, you have to do some reports. Okay, somehow good supervisor, they ask, maybe you should take a pictures, video to show me how dangerous this machine are, or maybe you have to write a report because it's something like alibi proof, okay, in order them to submit to the top management saying that this machinery should be replaced as soon as possible, because if we still using this one, for example, like 1 to 2 days, it will explode, for example, okay. But with justification, okay, not just say it, okay. And then supervisor must provide ongoing training as this will be strengthen their safety skills. Yeah, this is undeniable. When you want to practice it, you must have the knowledge. So how you want to make sure that you have knowledge, you have to undergo for training. And who should actually send you to training? Of course, your supervisor or your manager or head of department. So this is something like back to back. If you keep on shifting other people and say that you are fault, you are stupid, you are not good enough, because back to back you have to ask. If you pointing one finger to others, four fingers is goes to you back. Are you get me? So we need to say the supervisor, the head of department, before you accusing your employees, your staff is not doing the work or maybe not perform as what you required, ask yourself first whether you send them for the training or not. If not, send them as soon as possible while they getting better and better to perform the job. Maybe they do not know what is the best method to do that. So don't say that I already teach you everything. Teach different thing, training different thing. Why? Teach, you show them, demonstrate to them how to use. But when you training, sometimes they OJT on the job training, the particular training will also be advised to touch that things, to touch the machinery. You try it. Whatever that you already see the trainer teach you, I want you to try it. Demonstrate to me how to use this. So that is the different things. Okay. Alright. So the next one, supervisor should also deploy a checklist, safe job analysis for each job task. So meaning to say you have to make sure there is a checklist, what to do next, what to do next, to do next. So to ensure that the task, or especially the job task, is doing completely. Okay. So now we're moving on to some safety that in terms of the standard, other includes worn out tools. For example, you use a mask, but the mask is not in the proper condition. It have worn out. Koyak lah contohnya kan. Or maybe you use recycle mask because you want to maybe saving the cost. Or maybe you use you use glove, but the glove is worn out. Okay, bad quality parts. They have some like itchy when you use the glove, because mostly the glove is, for example, that one is the low cost one, so they very how to say, the allergic to those who are not easily use this thing, or certain maybe the product itself, the resources maybe give some effect to those who are allergic one. And unstable processes that involve movement, handling, and then we have lifting or operation proper are forms of the hazardous job factors. Okay, so even like we are lifting, right? Kita angkat barang, you not purposely just lift it without see your posture or body. You have to sit, but not totally sit down on the floor, but you have to go and bend your knee and then you take the box and then easily you wait or stand up. Okay? Not like just take it and lifting like that. No, because they have proper weight. And then we also have example high risk jobs such as the high rise building cleaners. I used to see this one especially in KLCC Twin Tower. Who want to do the cleaning of the windows, okay, the office in there at the tall building, of course the cleaners, okay. Okay, now we do have the dispatch riders, okay. Of course, you see those. Now I want to say that this is those the runners, right? Food Panda, Grab Food, Dalam Mover, what else, Bungkus Seat, okay, whatever it is, they are the riders. And their job is to make sure that you can send those things at the right time, at the ideal time that been set for them because they have to follow the system, right? For example, 15 to 20 minutes, your food will be on your door. But after 20 minutes, still also, but mostly Food Panda, they will send you in some messages, right? If let's say you need some time to prepare for your food, okay? And of course, the complex jobs on the machine and all drills. So this is also very, very particularly that very complex job because it's involving machinery and also oil drillings, okay, and then also fabrication process and pin planting process. So this is mostly like goes in the factory line. Actually, I'm not go for all here, but it's new for me like fabrication process. I'm not very familiar how it's been done. Okay, lack of the management system and control. So this is also one of the factors because the management do not want to take responsibility for that. Okay, whatever happens, it goes to the department. So it's wrong because you are the top management. Okay, so you are the one who should monitoring and also supervise them. Okay, not they take their own action, okay, not to be blamed by them, okay. And negative character traits they might lead people to behave in unsafe manner can be inherited through the personal and tradition. So we need to say, I might say to quote the certain verse from Al-Quran, Surah Ar-Ra'd, verse 11, if I'm not mistaken, Allah wouldn't change the fate of people until the people itself change their own fate. Sesungguhnya Allah tidak akan mengubah sesuatu kaum melainkan satu kaum itu mengubah nasibnya. So meaning to say when you say inherited, you don't want to change, okay? And if you see from here, or acquire as a result of the social environment due to the particular work. So you are being influenced by that environment, okay? And which is do not have adequate management system on the OSH matter. So in that environment itself, work environment, they are not bothered after all about safety. Even though they are should have this practicing, right? But they don't even bother. So that will also will become one of the factors, okay, why the reason it become bad on that, okay. And then basically bad work practices are a direct result of the lack of management control on the occupational safety and health of workers at the workplace. I think that this is like more totally you can read yourself, right? Okay, and maybe I just focusing on here, okay. Alright, maybe we should go with like in here. Based on the Hambridge Domino theory, they have the two central focus point, which is the personal factors and the unsafe acts. So this is the two main factors that actually why the reason it highly accident happen. Okay. In here they might say to prevent the accident and injuries. It is important to remove the last piece of domino or remove the unsafe acts that is immediate cause that precedes just prior, okay, before the accidents. And you can see like it is important to note that improper accident investigation may normally end up in blaming and of course in blaming the employee as the cause of the accident. You maybe blaming others. You are the one who are responsible for this. Otherwise, you are the one who are in charge during that time, but you blaming others. Huh? And which is the true fact is the lack of management control. Or maybe the management will say, and we are not responsible for this. After all, this is belong to the department. The department have to write show cause letter, blah 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 blah, and so forth. So basically, that is not the right way, because when come to profit of the company, everybody want to bear the hand. Yeah, we want profit. But when it comes to the things like this, injuries, accident, they will run away. Okay, missing in action. They don't want even bother to mention about this. The true color they don't want to go, but that is the true color of human. Okay, you only want the bad. You only want the good things, but the bad things you left it over. Alright, and then what else? Thus, understanding the domino theory causation of accident is the vital for an accident in investigation. So, benda ni sangat penting bila kita nak buat penyiasatan tentang berlakunya satu kemalangan. Domino theory diambil kira sebagai salah satu untuk asas, the fundamental to do investigation. Ni macam audit lah sebenarnya, audit process. Okay, and then we do have also the unsafe or substandard work condition. So as you can see in here, inadequate guards, barriers, conscious or warning labels, messy housekeeping, tak pun implement pun 5S tu, crowded and congested workstation, semi-processed, work in progress, or inventory piles or unwanted item triggered the potential and increase the risk levels for an accident to occur at the workplace. Other example include oily floors, so maybe like in the kitchen, you not use like oil resistant shoes and all of a sudden it's slippery and then you flip down and then waste piling up, okay, tools strewn all over, especially in the workshop, for example, tools are everywhere, and then parts or items scattered on the work tables, you are not putting into one boxes or maybe some parts in order to make it more tidy. Floors such as nails, scissor, racks, wood pieces, oil cans, and then we have plugs, electrical wire dangling and lying on the floor. Kalau dangling ni maksudnya dia berselirat lah, dan dia hanya dibiar atas lantai. Selalunya hakikatnya tu yang berlaku, okay? And also they do have like poor lighting. How do you feel? Let's say I'm just close or switch off this light and all of a sudden we cannot see anything in this room, right? So there is a poor lighting, insufficient flow of air and ventilation. Like if let's say you have your own aircon, right? Air condition have to be have like proper ventilation. Kena ada service lalu lah. Dusty cabinets, meaning to say you're not doing what we call feather flocks, okay, of cleaning, okay, dusty is everywhere and machine are all unsafe and substandard work condition. Okay, now we're moving on to the personal factors. Okay, so basically when we're talking about personal factor, it's about the cause from the human itself, the person itself. So the accident most frequently among the new workers who are not acquired the necessary skills and inexperience in nature. This is the fact. Okay, you don't have experience, you don't have training, so your knowledge is a very low level, okay? And the accident also occurred among the replacement workers, whereas they are new to their works. So also they have to replace and they are shocked and then they potentially to have this accident happen. And then working overtime, work more than accident that you should remain with, like your mind said 8 hours, but you've been asked to do overtime up to 12 hours, meaning to say 4 hours exit. So that means you have lost your focus because you potentially to have like burnout. Burnout ni adalah satu keadaan yang mana kita dah letih sangat. Keadaan yang sangat letih dan menyebabkan kita dah tak berupaya nak proceed. And then also you can see in here what else, doing tasks which one is not familiar. You are new to that thing, so maybe yeah, you have to rely on the person who are rich for working experience. Some underrate the risk factor involved in tasks, negligent and assuming too much. They assume this job is easy, but not easy peasy. And basically, personal factors are contributed by the lack of the required knowledge. So you are not have knowledgeable enough to perform the job, and you wouldn't asking your senior superior, because when you asking your senior superiors ask you to learn yourself because they also not been to have the VIP treatment. So that will back to back. Okay. And then as a newcomer, you should ask. If you not cannot ask, you ask for training. Okay. And then skills training, bad attitudes, and also stress level of the workers. The person is not trained, not competent to go to the job, and perhaps the replacement worker or a new worker. So this is potentially how it's the personal factor can contribute to accident itself. Okay, now we're moving on to the job factors. Okay, the negative character traits, whether inherited or acquired, lead people to behave with the unsafe manner. Okay, sorry, inherited from time to time. And why the hazardous condition exists? So it said in here, most accident occur because of the job factor itself. For example, very complexity of jobs, high risk jobs such as working with the machinery, especially when you go to the construction site. This is a very risky places, okay, workplace, moving part machine, mechanics, working at a precarious height, okay. I also don't want one, I cannot bear with the very high place, okay. Working with chemical, working in the huge installations such as petroleum refineries, boiler, high pressure and temperature equipment. Something equipment that needs certain of the degrees, okay, temperature degrees, that one you have to be very careful, especially when we involve with the high level of temperature, for example like hot, or maybe it goes with the cold one, okay. And I remember that is one of the Tamil story in India. Yeah, it's like Indian South Indian movie. It's like Tamil. um yeah, because I realized that the temperature of equipment, all sudden my mind is remember this story. This girl every morning they will she will greet the security guards, okay, uncle and the rest of the colleagues, good morning, good morning, good morning. And one day when and also the attitude when is going back to home, she will say goodbye uncle, take care, stay safe, stay healthy. So mostly the security guards, okay, they have this potential to remember all the stuff. So that is their job, right? To make sure that no anonymous person who are incoming, sorry, not incoming, but unwelcome guests is incoming to the workplace, right? So what happened to at one this evening, this uncle just remember that that girl is only greeting in the morning, but no goodbye or no stay safe, stay healthy at the evening. So he wonder where is this girl going, okay, and do she have to do overtime job? So she looking into the office, there is no one. But at the table, of course, the security guards know where is the table, right? She saw something like handphone, everything in there. So we need to say maybe this girl is going to toilet. But he doing the inspection. That is the good things about security guards, right? Doing checking inspection. So he go to the toilet one by one door, and there is no people and no person in that particular places. So guess what? What happened? Actually that workplace is like in the cold storage, They are producing like frozen food, and unfortunately what happened, these security guards maybe have the gut feelings, right? Yeah, the instinct lah. So he said, why not keep my searching to this storage room. And what happened actually, that girl is trapping inside that temperature room by her colleagues. Maksudnya kawan dia tak sedar pun dia ada dalam tu tengah buat inspection lah. Nak check berapa stok tinggal, and what happened, they just close it and then they, can you imagine, they just lock it, and then this girl have to hold almost 6 hours, okay? 6 hours inside that cold storage. And if let's say the security guard is not seeking for this girl, and maybe next day, because that is 6 hours, if 12 hours, or maybe almost probably one day, 24 hours, I believe that this girl will die. She cannot speak after all, after the security guard said, Allah, like, yeah, Allah give me like, because this girl is Indian girl, you know. So he said, my God said, something like that lah, the conversation. Maybe looking into to you here. So thank you, uncle. I cannot repay you. Only God can repay you on that. So the moral of the story is not about that we have to be careful in our, of course we have to be careful, right? But the things happen something like unpredictable. But the good things is our behavior. Okay. I believe that when you are the one who are near to people, okay, you be noted, and you've been how to say that, your behavior, okay, even everybody you greet, you are not looking into your position, okay, but actually this girl is very in high position somehow, executive lah for example, but they also can like greet like, yeah, they are my family, right? So this is the moral of the story. Be kind to others. We do not know, one day maybe our bad time will come, and we do not know the people that we are maybe kind to them. For you, maybe it's a common thing, that is a normal treatment from you. Everybody I'm treating VIP, for example, but they feel appreciated towards your behavior. So hashtag be kind to everybody, and keep husnuzon, doing a good thing, be in the positive vibe. Macam itulah. Kena sentiasa berbuat baik. Sebab kita tak tahu kebaikan yang kita buat tu kadang-kadang boleh menyentuh jiwa-jiwa orang. Gitu. Alright, and then job factors that contribute toward the accidents include lack of the engineering controls. Example are preventive measures such as auto detection system for fault, auto stop features for emergency or jam, engineering barriers and guards, educate work operating procedure. Yeah, this can happen. Okay, alright. So this is the actually it's like you can see loss causation model is derived from the domino theory, but this one is actually been how to say that from domino theory, he took some like the theory into this one, which is loss causation model, and then he's the one of the founder of International Loss Control Institute. Refine the domino theory. Refine mean you do some adjustment on that, and they said many researchers felt that Hendricks theory overemphasized on the workers' fault and workers' behavior. So they feel that this is, it doesn't say that it's totally wrong, but most like the faulty is goes to the human being. So they feel that this is not right. Maybe we should do some more on our research on this. So Bird said, I actually wonder why this guy named Bird. Maybe like should say like Frank, right? Okay, maybe the surname. Bird said, however, introduced the lack of management, and manager error was also one of the contributing factors, like in Nayosh 2005 stated. Hence, Bird revised the domino theory into, from 6 just now, it's revised into 4. So as you can see in here, they have number 1, loss of the injury rate caused by the accident. Kadang-kadang kecederaan yang rare ni adalah sesuatu yang agak rare lah, jarang-jarang berlaku, is caused by the accidents. For every accident, there are immediate cause and that are related to the operational error. Okay, and then also operational errors are one of the symptoms of deeper underlying or basic cases related to the management error, and the absence of the system of effective control permits the existence of the factor referred to as the basic causes. Okay, so this thing is based on the above laws causation model, and it's explained the two main categories of the causes, which is immediate cause and also basic cause of the accidents. All right, so just now is 6, right, from domino theory. Now from 6 become 4, and this one of course the injury. Okay, all right, let's recheck one by one on this. Okay, we have the lack of control, which is inadequate system, standard, and compliances. Okay, and then we have the basic causes, which is we have the personal factors and the job factors. And then we also have the immediate cause, which is substandard acts and also substandard work condition. And in here, they put some like error, which is underlying or root causes, which is close to like a basic cause in here. And then for the immediate cause, they have symptoms. The symptom is tanda. For direct causes, okay, which is come from the substandard act and also substandard work conditions. And then the incident can event that occur and also equals with the losses and injuries. Okay. Okay, as you can see from here, the first one is about substandard practices act, such as use action or action verbs, operate equipment without authority. Maybe certain of the machinery, okay, operation have to be under the controlling or monitoring supervisor, but you are handling this one without, okay, the authority of them. And then number 2, did not secure no proper backup system such as auto stop sensor or button. Okay, auto stop sensor, something like when they saw your right hand, they will automatically stop, but because there is no sensor on that, they just cut your hand and fingers. Okay, switches and also second automatic brakes. Okay, so this is most probably like in like bus. Okay, they have like emergency brake for this one. And also LRT train. And also remove safety devices such as barriers, guards, or sensor. For example, you're wearing the helmet but you are not locked. Okay, the helmets. Okay, what we call, yeah, the lock, right? And what happen when you are using the helmet and you are not have proper locking on that, the accident is happen equally like why you are not using helmet. Okay, it's like imagine that the advertisement is something like your head is like watermelon and it's like just Masya Allah, it's just break into pieces. Okay, they cannot put the real because that one is considered like more screaming. Okay, voices will come out. And then did not use personal protective equipment. Example like mask, okay, and then you're not using sanitizer, face shield, okay. And then horseplay, not concentrating on job. Horseplay meaning to say bukan main kuda, but they are playing in the workplace. They are running, okay, they are hiding, and then somehow they use that workplace as to play hide and seek. Is not the right thing to do. There is a place to go for fun and seek, but not at your workplace. Okay. And then eating and drinking at workplace or during working. For example, you drink, but you don't actually realize that you're drinking. Sometimes they have water, okay, dripping, right? And then it goes to certain machinery and it become electric shock due to that. So small things for you is small thing, but it can affect the larger effect on that. Okay, and then stacking of the good item or inventories improperly. You just stack it from the small one to the larger one. No, it's not the right things. Okay, the smaller one will be at outside, the upstairs. Okay, yang ke atas. but yang kat bawah it will be the more larger size. Okay, lifting and carrying, handling improperly, and movement of heavy bulky loads. You just take everything in your two bare hands, and then that's the reason you're sick, for example, right? And then drinking under the influence of intoxicants, for example, liquor, drugs, and medication. So this is will go to the mental soundness. Okay, we need to say you are not in the right mind state. You hayal lah bila buat kerja tu, you tak berada dalam condition yang sepatutnya. Alright, and then the failure to warn, no proper warning signs or indications. So dia tak ada langkah-langkah untuk macam bagi amaran ataupun sebarang signal ataupun tanda-tanda. Okay, do not drink and drive, for example, kan. Do not smoking. Tak ada pun benda tu. Dilantakkan aja contohnya. And also substandard conditions such as use adjective descriptive to describe inadequate guards or barriers. Sometimes dia tak ada proper lah guard ataupun barriers, tak ada palang, tempat yang dilarang masuk dia tak boleh letak pun, no enter. Defective tools, equipment, material, sharp or blunt blades. Ini pun boleh jadi alat yang tumpul, dia boleh menyebabkan juga kemalangan. Yang kata alat tajam memang dah buat kemalangan. Ini yang menyebabkan lagi kemalangan tu berlaku bila you tak dapat sesuatu benda yang sepatutnya digunakan pada keadaan yang baik. Okay, bad and messy housekeeping, tak buat 5S pun, tak kemas pun, biar je datang kerja macam tu, balik kerja pun macam tu. So it's not proper. Unorganized work layout, okay, crowded workstation, poor lighting, ada lampu ada bulb, ada lampu tak ada bulb, terbakar, biar je tak ganti contohnya. Wet floors, ini lantai yang basah. Kadang you realize or not, the anti-cleaner is putting like sign, the yellow sign, right? Do not walking ataupun do not pass here, the floor is slippery. Kita pun masuk juga tandas, lepas tu jatuh, lepas tu kata makcik cleaner tak buat kerja. Tak boleh dah macam tu. Kita sendiri yang cuai, kita tak baca signboard tu. Alright, and then wires crossing. Ini kalau ada like we told just now, like dampling wires, okay, selirat, okay, and too much loads on the plugs. This is related to your case study. Inadequate ventilation, and then they have a very what we call poor smell, hot and poor smell. Maksudnya bila awak ada aircon contohnya, misal kait dengan ventilation ni, when you smell it like this aircon, maybe in the bad smell, okay, so meaning to say there must be do something on that. And then we have high hazard levels such as noise level, berlaku lagi. Mic saya ni tak dengar. So sorry on that. Okay, we talking about the noise level. Mostly they will use ear plug. Ear plug ni macam untuk kita tutup lah supaya kita boleh, memanglah kita guna ear plug tu kita tak boleh dengar. But we take care of our ears. Because when you working in a very noisy, too much dia punya noise levels tu, that probably you become tak dengar tu lah. Okay. When people talk to you in a slow voice, you don't even hear on that. Okay. And then pressure levels and also vibrations. Okay, exposure to the extreme temperature which affect work performance. Jadi kadang bila kita bekerja dalam keadaan yang panas, aircon malfunction ataupun terlalu sejuk, so that would affect your work performance. I believe that when too cold is not so much a problem, but when you hot, you are in the kind conditions of hot and spicy. Did I say that? Hot temperature, that will be probably difficult for you on that. Okay, so the basic causes of accident are the disease or the real causes behind the symptoms or the reason why the substandard acts and condition occur. It could be due to the worker itself, personal factor, or the job factors. Okay, so there is also in terms of the what we call um yeah, maybe I should the last one here. Okay, the lack of the supervisory management control, it can be derived with this, I can say around 7 factors. Inadequate instruction and supervision, no proper instruction, tak ada arahan yang clear. Failure to provide briefing, so they don't have any briefing what to do, what's next steps. No enforcing rules and procedure, no SOP. Hazard are not being told or informed, so you didn't say that this work is dangerous, this work is risk, you have to do by 2%. You not even tell and inform, so this is your wrong. Okay, management wrongs. Failure to provide personal protective equipment, you don't giving the facilities that how to perform the job, okay, and then you're not giving them the PPE. Failure to put some warning, caution signs and label, not even bothered a piece of paper to write down this is a risk, do not enter. So you're not even bothered on that. And then failure to do the protective devices. So each for the management system policy and commitment, what you should do, okay, when you have the lack of this management system, uh, this is what be detectable. Uh, Failure to establish OSH policy. So OSH policy doesn't mean you have to do put and paste everything in the wall, but you have to set their mind. You do some like roll call every morning, remind them about the OSH policy, make them remember the OSH policy. Okay, that is how you actually indirectly solve torture, but this is how the best effective way on how to make them remember on the OSH policy. Lack of defined and measurable work standard and standard operating procedure, SOP, right? Now this is one is the very popular terms that I believe that everybody of you is remember. Did not carry out job safety analysis, JSA, safety inspection and audit. No checking after all. So who job is this? This is done by the safety officer at the company mostly. Did not carry out the hazard identification, risk analysis and control higher up. So they don't even bother also on this. Keep blaming each other. You are wrong, but after all you not do this. And then did not establish a safety help committee. This is the thing that mostly people take lightly. Ambil mudah. Sebab tak perlulah safety and health committee, untuk apa? Kita bukan kerja tilang. Contoh, kalau kerja dalam corporate world, right? It should have. Okay? Doesn't mean yang kat construction dia kena ada safety health committee. Orang yang kerja-kerja corporate, company corporate kena ada. Because why? Mental depression, illness is one of the occupational safety and health issue. Okay. Alright, and then failure to establish OSH program and training, tak ada langsung training. Bila tanya pekerja, tak pernah kami attend training sepanjang 10 tahun kami kerja sini. Ambil no, tak pernah. So we need to see you are not doing your work. And then lack of the OSH documentation and signage. Tak ada pun warning, warning signage lah. Safety first kan, you so tengok kan, macam-macam. Use your PPE, lack of the proper investigation procedure. Dah ada kemalangan nak buat siasatan pun malas. Jadi ini pun boleh jadi salah satu punca. Lack of management and corrective action and prevention action are not effective and addressing the problem. Sebab tak buat investigation, of course lah tak buat penambahbaikan untuk macam mana kita nak menghalang perkara ni berlaku dalam masa terdekat. Jangan berulang lagi benda yang sama sebab tak buat. Documentation tak buat, investigation procedure tak buat dan sebagainya. So I might stop in here because we have more 14 pages more I will do on the part 3 on that. I hope it's helped you a lot. And by the time I will give you quiz 2 for the topic 3 insyaAllah, and I will post in our new platform. Alright. Okay, thank you for now. My eyes also cannot open, because right now I'm doing this video at 12:30 a.m. in the morning, 10 September. Okay, all right. Take care, student. Thank you for now, and inshallah I will continue back on my video lecture. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.